Welcome back to the PigSkin podcast. This is episode 31. In this episode, we're going to do our divisional round recap, as well as talk about some of the coaching changes and the news surrounding really just the NFL. There's been some news in college football, but really just the NFL. The biggest one, I think we'll go ahead and just lead the show off with Jim Harbaugh is a Charger, man.
Jim Harbaugh is a Charger.
Crazy. I mean, we all
he
kind of
was
knew
a
he
he
was
was
going
a
to be the NFL.
Charger and is a Charger again.
Yeah, it's just like you think he wins them a title. That'd be the same thing as Michigan.
Well, my former boss is a Chargers fan, so I haven't even got a chance to ask him like how he feels about it. But if you're a Chargers fan, I mean, you'll take Jim Harbaugh. He's been to a Super Bowl before, and like if anybody,
With
this is
Colin
gonna sound
Kaepernick too.
yeah, it's gonna sound cliche, but if anybody can fix Justin Herbert, it's Jim Harbaugh. But can he fix the Chargers? Because we all know what the Chargers are.
Cursed, yes.
Yeah.
But do you think Justin Herbert needs fixing, or do you just think the Chargers around him needs fixing?
I think again, he's got a case of the Chargers. So like he does need somebody to fix him.
Okay.
Once you, I have a, it's kind of like when you go to play for the Panthers and David Tepper.
Or
It's
when you
kind
go
of the
to
same
play
thing
for Matt Nagy.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's almost incurable, but Jim Harbaugh, he's the cure. And so, I don't know, maybe 3 years they're in the Super Bowl.
Really?
Yeah, I think within 3 years.
I can see that. Now, here's the question I was thinking about earlier today. Does Michigan fall off and return back to obscurity? Or do you think this thing's built to last for them?
They probably fall off. Who knows?
Say,
maybe Sharon Moore's the guy though. Maybe he's
former center.
Hey, he won 3 games. When he was the interim.
He could, including Ohio State.
Yeah,
they are portaling like a motherfucker. But
so really, all you have to do is just again scratch off the interim part and just name. I mean, he's head coach now. So
yeah, same thing with Antonio Pierce.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like I love Sharon Moore. I think he'll be a great coach. Michigan hasn't recruited well lately. Like they've been decent, but not like they're mid-20s most of the time, mid-teens in terms when it comes to recruiting, like high school recruiting, and they don't portal well. I feel like this was their shot to win it with as many like 5th and 6th year players they have and as many vets they have, kind of like Washington as well. So I felt this was their window to go win it, and they did. And I don't see them being like terrible, but I don't see them being like at this level for another couple of years probably.
Well, what if Sharon Moore, because he was the play caller? I mean,
yeah,
there's nothing fancy. It was basically just a Jim Harbaugh offense, And then with Jesse Zinner, he's going to be going to the Chargers. Yeah. I think he's going to follow Jim Harbaugh. Is it going to be Sharon Moore head coach and play caller, or is he going to be like a CEO head coach where he's going to hire his own offensive coordinator who's going to be the one calling the plays? Like, what are we going to get with Sharon Moore? I think either way they'll be fine. I mean,
yeah, I just think they'll have a couple down years compared to what they've been recently, and then they should bounce back. But I mean, that was really the big college football news. I mean, there's been a lot of – I mentioned Ohio State. There's been reports out there that Ohio State spent as much as $13 million so far in NIL over this past cycle for 2024 high school recruiting and this transfer portal.
You saw the guys that they got in the transfer portal. I mean, it's ridiculous. They're building to beat Michigan.
Yeah, and they might not even have to build that bad to beat Michigan. But they do have Oregon coming to town and all those other fucking schools. So
yeah, exactly.
But I also wanted to bring this up. What was it? I just lost it.
Was it about Michigan?
No, it was about Caden Proctor at Iowa. Did you see that interview he was doing at the basketball game?
Oh yeah, where he like
admitted to tampering, essentially, saying that Iowa never stopped talking to him and really just kept talking to him throughout his whole time at Alabama. And when Saban retired, he knew exactly where he was going. Pretty good look for the Hawkeyes.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that except it's tampering. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, nothing wrong with it except for the fact that it breaks every rule. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, it's fine.
As long as they don't go after the NCAA like Florida State did, I think they'll be fine.
Yeah.
Florida State really was like, let's challenge the NCAA, and they're like, oh yeah, here's everything you've done wrong. They're like, you know what, we'll back the fuck off.
You know what's cool about this Jim Harbaugh hiring though?
What?
There was a clause in his contract that stated that like with him, if he were to leave for the NFL, like when his coaching tenure in college is done, there's like nothing that like he wouldn't have been fired. Or he wouldn't have had any sanctions against him either.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. And plus, like, I don't think Michigan or I don't think Michigan would have fired him even if he would have stayed, even if everything came to light. Like, let's say that there was punishment that the Big Ten offered to Jim Harbaugh. He just won you the first national title since like 1948. Probably just another like, hey, 3-game suspension.
Yeah, and whatever it is, Michigan would have never gotten rid of him. I mean, not only did he play for Michigan, his dad coached for Michigan, and he came back and, like you said, won them the first title, and God knows when.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, there was no firing Harbaugh. I know he was trying to put that clause in there that would protect him if anything was to happen, to protect his ass, but I don't think he necessarily would have needed it. I'm sure Michigan would have taken all the brunt off of it anyways. So
yeah, exactly.
But I think that's it. Brian Callahan is now a new head coach at Tennessee. The offensive coordinator, or former offensive coordinator for the Cincinnati Bengals. It's a pretty good move. Yeah, I mean, he's led Joe Burrow, and Cincinnati's had a great offense. Yeah, and they weren't terrible with Jake Browning. Like, they weren't god awful. They weren't great, but they weren't awful. You know what I mean? So
this just means Vrabel's going to New England, right?
Probably. No, he's not. Gerard Mayo's there.
I know Gerard Mayo's going to be there, but let's say like in a few years, nothing's going their way still. Like, I feel like it's just setting up like Vrabel to go to New England in a few years.
I think Vrabel needs to fill a very, very important role in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Do you want to talk about that?
I'd love to see Vrabel as yes. I'll go ahead and talk about it before we get into the games. We were going to record this yesterday, but I wasn't feeling good and had some homework and stuff to do. So, I was like, take night off. We'll come back today. The football gods blessed me with that decision. And the blessing that I received is not only our strength and conditioning coach was fired or relieved of his duties. And
was it a mutual parting of ways?
Yeah, very mutual for the Green Bay front office and head coach. Other than that, I don't think it was that mutual. But and as well as the Lord and Savior himself, Joe Barry. And I say Lord and Savior because when Green Bay needs to win games, defense plays well. Outside of that, they just suck shit through a straw. So Joe Barry was relieved of his duties as well. He will not return as a defensive coordinator next year. I think it's a big move for Matt LaFleur to kind of finally grow some balls.
Yeah.
And make that change, right? So I think it's a good thing. There's been some names thrown around. Jim Leonard is who I wanted last year. Well, I mean, Joe Barry obviously wasn't fired, but Jim Leonard, the former DC at Wisconsin, NFL safety, currently a senior defensive assistant with Illinois.
All-time Badger, too.
All-time Badger. So all-time Wisconsinite at that point. Like, he's just a Wisconsin guy. So I would love to see him in Green Bay. So I think his defense could translate from college to the pros. Brandon Staley has been a name thrown around. Fuck that. No.
Yeah, I don't think you would want a guy like Brandon Staley after what just transpired this season.
Yeah, no, not at all.
I would love that. I'm
sure you would be very excited for that to happen. Vrabel's another name that's been thrown around. I doubt it happens. I think he's going to be a head coach somewhere else. I don't think he jumps back down to the DC ranks. I frankly don't think he should have been fired at Tennessee, but it is what it is.
No, not at all. There was kind of a downright, how do I put this, retarded move?
Yeah, basically.
Can I say that?
That decision had an extra chromosome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it did.
It was not a good move. But another thing that happened, or another name that's been thrown out there is defensive coordinator at Carolina has been thrown out there. Green Bay could potentially coerce him to come to Green Bay. And then linebackers coach forget his name.
Would that make you happy if they did get
Anthony
Carolina's
Barr.
DC and then Brian Burns came with it?
I would Brian burn some fucking houses down for that to happen. I would commit arson. And then,
you heard it here first.
Yeah.
Dalton, known arsonist.
Agent. Yes. Soon to be known arsonist, depending on who the Packers hire. Or another name's been thrown around. I forget his name. I can't think of it off the top of my head right now, but linebackers coach at Baltimore. I can't think of his name, but linebackers coach at Baltimore. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do some digging and see what my football mind comes up with who I want. But I wouldn't hate a nice Billy Belichick hire. I think that'd be pretty fire. But I know it's not gonna happen. So
you know who just got relieved of his duties?
Who?
Vic Fangio.
He did, and Wink Martindale.
That's true.
No longer a Giant. So I wouldn't mind Wink Martindale. Wouldn't mind Vic Fangio. Be pretty happy with those.
You can't have him. So. He's coming back to Chicago.
You think so?
Yeah.
Imagine
we need to fill the DC spot. So
imagine Green Bay and Chicago. Green Bay against Wink Martindale. Chicago gets Vic Fangio, and then they just take over the NFC North again.
I don't know. Based on what we saw this past divisional round, it's looking pretty grim for anybody but the Lions to take over the division.
Yeah, no, at this point, it's not looking good. I think that's pretty much all the breaking news we have to get to, though. I don't know if there's anything else that's off the top of your head that you can think of.
Well, let's check. Twitter might have some. Nope, there's nothing.
Nope, that's it. All right. Well, with that being said, I think we'll go ahead and move on to the divisional round. First game of the divisional round, we saw the Texans and the Ravens. Was a fairly good game for the first half. Like the first half, Texans couldn't do shit on offense. Their offensive line just kept deciding to put them behind the sticks every single drive. But they had that punt return close to halftime. They went into the tunnel, tied at 10, and then the Ravens came out and remembered that they were the best team in the NFL and decided to prove it. So
yeah, it was kind of, you had some concerns if you're a Ravens fan, like the rest versus rust debate. Yeah. Like the first half, it didn't look so good, and then Lamar Jackson remembered that he was Lamar Jackson, and I got to tell you, this was probably the best game that he's played in a playoff.
Oh, 100%.
Like this, that was unbelievable what he was able to do, and it's crazy. Like DeMeco Ryans and the Texans, like defense, like they're good, they're young and they're smart, but like how you can't defend some of the stuff that Lamar Jackson can do. It's just like he's so good, but. This game, it kind of went the way that I thought it was going to go. Like the defense, Baltimore's defense is just so nasty.
They're so good.
They are so good, and they don't even have like any star like pass rushers. Like they don't have like a Bosa or a Rashawn Gary.
Their best pass rusher is a 33-year-old Jadeveon Clowney.
Or I can never pronounce his name. I think he's an interior guy. Let me look it up real quick.
Justin Matabuke? Is it him?
Wait, say that again. Sorry.
Justin Matabuke?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like they're just like so like tight knit. Like they're so solid. Like just all around.
They play really fundamentally sound football.
Yeah, and credit Mike McDonald. I mean, he's a hell of a defensive coordinator. But like the Ravens, again, like this is eerily similar to the playoff run they had with Joe Flacco, where like the way that their defense plays, like think of the studs that they had on that defense when they went to the Super Bowl, like Terrell Suggs and Ray Lewis. You got Patrick Queen and Roquan Smith. They basically play the exact same.
They got another stud safety in Kyle Hamilton,
which is Ed Reed.
Yeah.
And dude, Kyle Hamilton is fucking good. Like he's playing. He was basically like the second best prospect in that draft. It's crazy that he fell to the Ravens, but like whatever. Yeah, he's so good. And then like. They did it all. I mean, without Mark Andrews, again, like Lamar, he's efficient. He had like a 72% completion percentage. Zay Flowers going up against Derek Stingley, like he's a stud. Like the Ravens, I mean, they've clearly separated themselves. I mean, this wasn't like the best game to watch, especially like going into the second half. Like it was kind of a blowout. Like it was done before Lamar Jackson threw that last touchdown.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Ravens, they're set, and they've got a tough match against Kansas City coming up. But
Trying to sneeze.
You're good.
I can't
Look into the light.
Out. I just did, and it went away, man. I'm pissed. But yeah, no, everything you said, I completely agree. It was crazy. It seemed like every time the Texans would put them behind the sticks or something, Lamar would just get 12, 13 yards.
Yeah.
Whether it was through the air or like running it or whatever. But
I don't really feel like CJ Stroud played bad. He just the Ravens defense is just that good. Like
the Ravens defense is that good. He had no time in the pocket. And
guys were dropping balls. Dalton Schultz.
Yeah, Dalton Schultz was dropped. He dropped a few bad ones.
Yeah.
And then when they started getting a rhythm and getting things going, they couldn't run the ball, first of all. But when they started getting things going, they'd get it offsides or an eligible man downfield or a holding or something like that. They would just shut everything back.
Kick the shit out of them. And then we did have a Dalvin Cook. His first run was 19 yards. That was pretty cool.
I saw that.
Put him out there. I think we should see some more of it. Yeah, we need to see more Dalvin Cook.
I agree.
People forget about his days at Florida State. He was a stud at Florida State.
Well, fuck. Even in Minnesota, he played really well.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, this one, it was weird because like going into halftime, it was tied at 10, but it didn't feel like it should have been tied.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Ravens I was like, I feel like the Ravens really won that. It was really the punt return is what we were like, oh, maybe, but no, their defense didn't allow. I'm surprised they got as many yards as they did. CJ Stroud threw for 175. That's so surprising. It felt like he maybe would have thrown for 15 yards.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's
nothing bad on him.
That's just how good, again, the Ravens defense is. Like they didn't give up a single offensive touchdown. Yeah. They got a field goal. That was it.
Mm-hmm. And I think it was the first drive of the game.
Yeah. After that, it was just
nothing.
No. There's a play where Roquan Smith, it was either him or Patrick Queen. I think it was Roquan Smith, where he got a tackle for loss. They did a side by side with, it was him and Ray Lewis, and it was literally the exact same play. They're running outside zone, B gap opens up. I mean, he shoots it before it even opens up. Like he sees it happening. Like It's crazy. And like I get it. You know, people didn't like that the Chicago like traded him, or I forget if they released him or traded him. I think they traded him.
I want to say it was a trade.
Yeah, because they got a pick out of it. Like Chicago, like if you're a Chicago fan, like you got TJ Edwards and Tremaine Edmonds, and they were good. Like you're getting them for the same price as you were Roquan Smith. You never really know like how good like a player. Like what if their pass rush isn't as good as it has been?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I think it's funny because I was going to bring up Roquan as a pair, but I think that was one where both teams kind of made out pretty well.
Yeah.
That was
It was an even trade. Yeah. It was like Goff and Stafford. Yeah, it was an even trade.
Yeah, 100% even. Perfectly even.
Yeah, perfectly even.
Balanced, as all things should be.
Well, listen, if you're the Texans, nothing to hang your head about. You had a great season.
Not at all.
You made it to, you've never made it to a conference championship since becoming like a team in Houston, but you got your quarterback. You have tons of capital. Like he's on a rookie contract, so you could build your team, and then the guys that you have that are studs.
All their stars are on rookie contracts.
Yeah. Tank Dell.
Derek Stingley, Tank Dell, Will Anderson, Jalen Petrie.
Yeah.
Henry Oto or whatever. Like all the stars on their team.
Who was the linebacker? Like Chris Harris, right?
Yeah.
Or, not Chris Harris, but it was like something Harris.
Christian Harris?
Yeah, Christian Harris.
Yeah.
He was like almost the best player on the field for the Texans.
Yeah.
Like he was just everywhere. So like
they're gonna be so fucking good, dude.
Yeah, I know. And you still have Laramie Tutzel. Like he's still like top 3 tackle. Yeah, blindside tackle at that.
Yeah. They're gonna be. They get another couple pieces, especially on defense. And on their offensive line, on the right side of their offensive line, they're going to be nasty, man.
Yeah. Yeah, they're going to be just fine.
You
went up against the Ravens.
Solid, and then Damian Pierce, who's pretty good.
You weren't a bad team. You just played the Ravens. That's what it was.
That's exactly what it was. You got any other thoughts on that game, though?
No, I don't.
Oh, this is going to be.
Yeah, I know you you've been waiting to talk about this one.
Oh, dude, every fucking year. No, I'll let you introduce the game. I'll let you do it. You can have the
honor. The reason that I want to talk about the 49ers first in this one.
Yeah.
Because this game, like before we recorded the episode, the last one that we did before the game, I thought the Packers were going to win the game, and it looked like it for the majority of the time. Like the Packers, like I don't know what it is, but they're young guys, like they play well, and like the 49ers have just been kind of like it's like a ship going through like a tsunami wave, like just back and forth. Like you've seen them blow out teams, and then they've like had close games where it didn't look like they're a very good team. You could say that's a quarterback thing. You could say it's a Kyle Shanahan coaching thing. Here's the thing about Kyle Shanahan. I like him. I think he's a phenomenal coach. Like offensive play calling, like he's a mastermind. Like his offense just works. Like he is the Powerpuff Girls like mixing pot. Like he's got offensive play calling, good looks, great head coach. But then you accidentally break factor X, and it's just like shit for brains and game management.
Yeah.
Like that's how it feels sometimes. And a lot of people are saying like the stat where like he's trailing by 5 in the fourth quarter, he was like 0-30 before that game. People are like, well, that's a quarterback thing. I think it's a game management thing.
I think it's
when he goes up against the team that's where he's getting like the team is getting their shit kicked in, like he just like he goes brain dead like with his offense and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those weird things because his offense is so predicated on playing with the lead.
Yeah,
because it's supposed to like just suffocate you. I do think it's a game management and a head coach thing because I don't know. Not that he doesn't know how to rally, but I don't know that they have the consistency. It's weird to say one of the best offenses in the league doesn't have the consistency to play that way, but they don't. You know what I mean? They don't have the consistency to throw it 40 times to have to go out there and win. They need to be able to hand the ball off to Christian McCaffrey and let him just churn out big plays or get a couple screens and some soft, easy plays and let one of them break. You know what I mean? That's what the whole offense has been.
I was waiting for. Like I thought the Packers defense was like phenomenal in the first half. Like they were holding Christian McCaffrey. Like he couldn't run the ball. Like it looked like as I was watching the game, I was like, McCaffrey's going to break one. Like he has to. Like, but based on like the scheme that Joe Barry runs and like their linebackers aren't like the strength of the team, it seemed like at some point like McCaffrey's going to break one, and he did. And like they pulled out the win, but by a pube.
Yeah,
and that's what it was. Like they had
by a shit kicker who's missed 13 field goals this year. That's how
I tried to tell you that kicker was going to be a problem. I think you're finally there.
When you lose one because of it, that's when you're like, okay.
I had Cody Parkey as a kicker. Like I understand what it's like to have a bad kicker.
I've had Mason Crosby my entire life.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean we've had Zach Schmidt the last couple of years, so hadn't always been great. Kind of know you, but anyways, yeah, no, I mean the Niners every fucking season. But anyways, yeah, they're not one of those teams that. That's why I think the biggest detriment to them is literally trailing. Like that's why, and it was the same with Dallas, right? And Matt LaFleur had a perfect game plan. You go out there, you take the ball, you go down and score, and then you just have to keep scoring. Like I mean, obviously, but you have to get up on them somehow, whether it's a turnover, and you score.
It almost seemed like nothing was going the 49ers way because they finally scored, and then Keyshawn Nixon had that kick return, the heart attack kick return.
Yeah,
and then they scored on that drive, didn't they?
No.
Or was it a field goal?
Yeah, they scored a touchdown. They did.
Yeah, because that was like he fumbled, and then there was another guy there that
Eric Wilson picked it up.
Yeah.
Beautiful play, by the way. Full stride, running all the way downfield, just dove on it perfectly.
Yeah.
I think they may have gotten a field goal on there.
I picked on Keyshawn Nixon after the Giants game. I was like, God, this guy stinks. And then ever since then, he's just been a stud like the rest of the season. And like for him to have that kick return, I was like, never mind. Like this guy, like he's young too. So, but like the 49ers, like they have a problem. They have a lot of issues. Like it's crazy to say that a team with they're it's like they're like a college team in the fact that they have so many blue chip like players. Like they got George Kittle, they got Joey Bosa, Eric Armstead, Fred Warner, they've
You know who
got
they
Trent
are?
Williams. Who they?
Texas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Texas.
Yeah, they're based that's what they are. They just have so many studs everywhere, but like that game, they were the much more talented and should have been the better team, and they should have won by 2 scores, and they didn't. And I think a big part of that is because of Brock Purdy. He played like it was definitely like the perfect Brock Purdy game where there's two opinions about Brock Purdy, and there's no in between. There's like whatever opinion you had on him going into the game, you basically had the same opinion like when the game ended because of the game-winning drive.
I want to touch on that one. So that throw he had to Jawan Jennings, where he just kind of lobbed it up there.
Beautiful.
Was a beautiful throw. I think he gets a bit too much credit for that one. Because he kind of dropped into a
he wasn't able to step into his throw.
Guys. I know.
I thought the throw to Kittle was better though.
The throw to Kittle was a lot better.
That was a timing throw.
Yeah, and that was on the move. If Keyshawn Nixon takes a step and a half back before he jumps, he at least gets a hand on that ball.
I think he led the safety. I think he led him with his eyes though.
He did. And look, that's Brock Purdy. But that's what he's been since college, man.
That's what I was gonna bring up. Like that was Iowa State. Like you could tell like watching him against Oklahoma and like in the Big 12 in general when he was in college. Like he's like you could tell he's got talent. Like he was a 4-star quarterback for a reason.
Yeah.
And then he just goes shit for brains and he fucking just does something stupid or he misses a throw.
He threw 3 interceptions and 2 of them were dropped.
Yeah. Wasn't one of them Devondre Campbell or the other linebacker?
Quay. Yeah, Quay dropped one. And then one went right over the wide receiver and Keyshawn just missed it.
Yeah.
And then he hit Darnell Savage right between the 2 and the 6. It would have been a
pick 6.
Yeah. Dude. Oh my God. The game literally almost started just like Green Bay Dallas.
Sometimes the ball's just too easy that it's hard to catch.
Yeah, literally. And for him, sometimes the pass is too easy. He just can't make it.
Yeah. And he had some time. Like I love the video of him like when he's dropping back and he has time to dry his hands.
Yeah. And then he still throws the fucking duck. It's George. Speaking of Kittle, I want to bring this up. He's never going to see this, but fuck him, okay? Look, Norman North guy, yeah, he went to high school in Oklahoma. Fuck you, went to Iowa. The fucking balls to go on a Pat McAfee show and go, did you see what he said? Go Pat, go the fuck home, bro. Fuck you. I was so mad. Kittle. I had to watch it 12 times. I was so pissed, bro. I just kept thinking of things to say. Oh my God.
What do you say? Because he's like one of the most likable dudes until he talks shit about your team.
He is one of the most likable dudes.
You know he's like a diehard Bears fan.
Yeah.
Like he grew up a diehard Chicago fan. So I mean, George Kittle, if you want to play for either Justin Fields or Caleb Williams, that way we don't have to draft Brock Bowers. We can have you and Cole Kmet.
And Roma Dunze.
We just hired Shane Waldron. Oh, that was another coaching thing. We just hired a new offensive coordinator.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. I do want to move on to the Packers, though. Dude,
I do too.
Every fucking season.
Before you get into it, because I know what you're gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just say this. As a Bears fan, it is always fun to watch like the Packers lose in the playoffs when they're like clearly like a good enough team to get to the Super Bowl, like the Aaron Rodgers years. Yeah. I can't do that this year. Like it was a rebuilding year. You weren't even supposed to be in the playoffs. So like you got to think about that. Like Jordan Love exceeded expectations. I don't know how, but Matt LaFleur turned him into probably a better quarterback than Aaron Rodgers. That's probably not the case. Aaron Rodgers is one of the most talented quarterbacks ever, but if he keeps up on the pace that he's at and he wins a Super Bowl, which would be my nightmare, again, Hall of Fame quarterback. And then you got a bunch of young dudes, Jaden Reed, Wicks. Wicks ran like the slowest 40 time in the combine, and he's a stud.
He's so good, dude.
Melton. Dobbs,
Wicks' separation
Watson.
Is so insane.
Yeah. They got dudes everywhere, and they're probably going to keep Aaron Jones. And your offensive line, Your offensive line played awesome.
Yeah.
But that's another thing I was going to talk about with the 49ers. Like, they have an issue not only with, like, quarterback, but, like, their pass rush. Like, Joey Bosa's getting double teamed. Eric Armstead, like, he was coming off of an injury. Chase Young kind of stinks.
Chase Young got worked by a 7th round, nearly undrafted.
They were
Second-round
running
pick.
the ball at him. They were running
that pin pull toss to perfection, and both Bosa and Young got put on their ass by Christian Watson and Dontavian Wicks.
Yeah. Like, that's the thing. Like, football knowers knew that, like, when Chicago got Montez Sweat, it was like, or non-football knowers are like, oh, they overpaid for him. They got a 2nd round. They just had to put him on a big contract, and 49ers got a 3rd out of Chase Young. It's like, if you're a Commanders fan, you're like, well, no, like, Sweat was the better player. Like, he was getting a lot more pressure and more sacks. Like, I don't know what's going on with Chase Young. I get that he's had injuries, but, like, he doesn't suck, but, like, he stinks.
Sweat is still my biggest draft crush of all time.
Yeah, Montez Sweat.
Well, Michael Parsons, really, but Montez Sweat is like one of my biggest draft crushes of all time. Yeah. Like, if we knew each other back then, you would have hated me because every 17 seconds I was like, I hope Green Bay just drafts Montez Sweat. That's all I thought about for fucking ever.
He was a stud at Mississippi State, dude.
He's so good, man. I still have his highlight tape in my phone. Like, I still have videos and clips of him in my phone that I go back and watch. I'm like, God damn.
Hey, I'm going to get off track real quick because I do want to ask you, since you're a Penn State fan, what do you think of Penn State this season? Because they're probably, like, they're going to be losing Chop Robinson probably. Mm-hmm. Like, I think he's declared for the draft. Adisa Isaac, and then Abdul Carter, who's basically just another Micah Parsons. Like, who do you think is going to be the best of the bunch?
Out of Chop Robinson, Adisa Isaac, and Abdul Carter. Compared to Michael Parsons, or just those 3?
Just those 3. Like, who do you think is going to have more success?
I want to say Chop Robinson because I love him so much, but I feel in my soul it'll be Abdul Carter.
Yeah. I don't know. I see Chop Robinson, like, he just looks nice.
He does.
He looks too nice.
He does. He does. I also feel that he's what, 6'4", 270, 280-ish?
He's a big dude.
He's a big dude, but he feels, when he plays, sometimes he feels undersized.
Yeah.
When I watch him play, he kind of feels like he's undersized, but he's not. You know what I mean? Like, measurables are there. I don't know if it's the way he plays or his aggressiveness or what, but
I like Abdul Carter a lot. I like him just as much as I liked Parsons coming out of the draft. Like, I think they are literally similar size. They're both 6'3", like 200-something pounds. They both have the speed. I don't know where Penn State, they just get dudes in the NFL and they're all studs. So I'm like hoping Chicago drafts Abdul Carter as kind of like whenever, if TJ Edwards decide, like, if we give him another contract, that's fine. But, like, he's on his last year, like, maybe we can just, like, substitute him in.
Yeah. No, I think Abdul Carter. I mean, I think they'll all be good, but I think Abdul Carter would be the dude. Whatever Penn State does with these insanely athletic, just defensive players they let do whatever they want in college, they need to do that. However they find those guys, they need to do the same thing in quarterback.
Yeah.
Because they find those guys at running back. They always have stud running backs.
Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
Miles Sanders.
Singleton. Fucking. And then the other dude, I can't think of the other dude's name. They have Dick Singleton and the other guy. But, yeah.
Well, maybe Drew Aller will have more success this season.
I mean, he's got old fucking, what's his name, was his play caller in OC now. So, dude from Kansas. Yeah, Connolly. So I think they'll be fine. But back to the Packers.
Yeah.
Do you have any more thoughts before I go on my rant?
No, I mean, I know what rant you're going to go on, but you need to look at this as like I look at this as like, fuck, like 10 years of more like distraught.
So I'll give you that. I do agree this is a good season, right? They did much better than anyone thought they were going to do. It's a great season. And you're right. We do have the young pieces. We have Christian Watson. If he can not pull his hamstring every 38 seconds. Which, did you see him and Eric Stokes were sent to University of Wisconsin-Madison to have like research and shit done on their hamstrings to see what the fuck's going on? They're literally going through clinical trials to figure out what the fuck is wrong with their hamstrings. While they keep pulling them every 30 seconds.
I think it's because they're pussies.
Fuck you. I think it's because they're so damn fast. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
Christian Watson's fast as fuck.
Yeah. So is Eric Stokes. But yeah, they got Aaron Jones, who they have to keep now. They have to. He's the heart and soul of that team. There's no way you can get rid of Aaron Jones. I don't give a fuck what you have to pay him. I tweeted at the IRS. I said the U.S. Treasury, every dollar you can possibly print, just set it on his doorstep.
You can just print fake money.
You think what if I give him Park Place and all my hotels? Do you think he'll take it?
No. I don't think he would know who you are, so he'd probably think it's a scam.
Probably. What about Boardwalk? If I just show up with a Boardwalk, Park Place, and 4 hotels?
I have a more important question for you.
Okay.
What's going to happen with Jair Alexander? Because I don't know if you saw his post.
I did see his post. I mean, he's still under contract.
That was just a very cryptic post.
Yeah, the life as a Packers fan is just cryptic posts and fucking losing.
When Aaron Rodgers had his cryptic posts like every year, like he was going to leave and retire.
Yeah. He's fucking stupid.
When he did it with Devontae Adams, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Packers Twitter was in shambles.
I was in shambles when that happened. I think you got to keep Jair. I mean, yeah, he's like a troll, but he's still a top corner in the league.
Yeah. But he talks shit, but he can back it up, which
exactly.
Sucks.
Him, Carrington Valentine, who's great 7th round rookie. Corey Ballantyne's played well. Keyshawn Nixon plays really good in the slot. He's really underrated in the slot. I still wish he would have held on to Rasul. And then if Eric Stokes can stay healthy, he's a good man cover guy. We just got to work on safety, I feel like. But you have to keep Jair. You have to keep Aaron Jones. Let Bakhtiari walk. Let Devondre Campbell. Well, you can't let him walk. Get rid of Devondre Campbell and David Bakhtiari. And then you just got to kind of retool at those pieces. You know what I mean? And obviously, they're going to have to sign Jordan Love to max. Huge extension. But going back to this game, every fucking season, every time the Packers will look like shit, then they'll play well. They'll look like shit. They'll get hot at the right time. I doubt them and doubt them and doubt them. I get one glimmer of hope, and then Anders Carlson misses a field goal.
Yeah, that
fucking
was rough, man.
Pat O'Donnell had a blocked punt a couple years ago in the playoffs. Fucking that's a problem. It's just every year, man. But it does give me hope, dude. Like, that's the sad thing is, like, they won that game. Look, they dropped 2 or 3 interceptions. They would have been game changers. They got horrendous spots on that second drive. Both that third down and then that fourth down were both horrendous. The Niners did not get some favorable spots. I will say that. They got screwed a couple times too. Officiating was horrendous in that game. It was so bad. There was missed face masks. There were missed holdings all over the fucking game. Both sides. I'm not blaming the refs. I'm not victim blaming the Packers.
I think the refs were trying to challenge, like they were trying to see like who could have like the worst spot. Like one of the refs was like, "Hey, I bet I can spot this ball worse than you can."
And then like the refs in the Lions Bucks game were like, "Do you see that shit yesterday? Let's do it. Let's do it even worse."
Yeah.
I think Matt LaFleur needs to be more aggressive with his challenges. Like,
what was that one challenge? Didn't he like throw a challenge that it was either him or it was No,
he threw one. It was another shitty spot. It was on the third down where Aaron Jones landed on a guy and then fell forward for 3 yards, and they put him 1.5 yards behind the first down marker.
Wasn't he down? Oh no! I was thinking
he landed. Yeah, he landed on a dude. Yeah, no, it's just he's got to be more aggressive with those. You get 2, fucking use them both, dude. That's bullshit. But hey, it looked bad, and then the Packers blocked a field goal, right? And then it's like, okay, they come out, they go score, the Niners go score, or the Niners score. Or no, they stop them. Packers go score. Niners score. Packers come down, score again, and get 2-point conversion. And then you're like, holy shit, they can do this. All I got to do is get one stop.
That was huge for the over too, almost. Because I was rooting for the over, and so like I was like doing like guy math in my head, like, okay, well, if they go for the 2-point conversion, if they score this touchdown, then there's a possibility that the Niners could score. 24-24, it going overtime, and all that is needed is a field goal.
Yeah.
But and Anders Carlson, bad game, bad
Look,
beat.
so speaking of the Anders Carlson thing, you saw Matt LaFleur saying where he's like, I just hope every time he goes out there, I just pray that he makes it. I think people pull that out of proportion. I don't know about you, but every time I see my kicker step on the field, no matter if it's Mason Crosby, Justin Tucker, or whoever the hell it is, I just pray they make it.
I felt like that was like something you don't want to hear from your head coach, though.
It's not.
That's like the worst thing you want to
hear.
hear.
Coach.
I don't think it was blown out of proportion. I think he actually meant that because of the missed kicks that
sure
Anders Carlson. He was like,
I'm sure he meant it, but like at the same time, it's like I pray my kicker makes every fucking field goal. I know they're not going to. I just pray, especially in a time like that when you need it, he makes it. And he fucking didn't, dude. And it's just now I will say he missed the field goal. I'm sure the Niners go down and score.
Yeah.
If they had to. We stopped them. Jordan was like, did his best Brett Favre interpretation and threw that ball across the body.
I love that side by side. It's literally the exact same.
It literally is the exact same play.
I love that. Like,
I don't think it would have made a difference though.
It was either Joe Buck or Troy Aikman. They were talking about it where they had to sit down with Jordan Love.
Mm-hmm.
And they were asking him like about some of the throws that he makes, and Jordan Love was saying that like he understands that it's like a cardinal sin for some quarterbacks, like you got to get your mechanics down and be able to sit in the pocket. But he said that sometimes he feels like he can make some of those throws, and you saw it when he made that one throw to Romeo Doubs, that crazy like sideline catch, and then he goes out and did what he did on that interception. That was just hilarious. That was right after.
I know. And that was just jitters. I mean, that's just his first time in that situation on that moment. You know what I mean? It's going to happen. The Packers weren't going to win that game. Even if they got in field goal range, Anders Carson's going to fucking miss it anyways.
Yeah, because it's 49ers, so they can't
exactly. It's the fucking 49ers in the playoffs. The only quarterback that could ever do it would be Brett Favre.
The Bears can do it.
Oh, fuck you. But the Bears can't win playoff games consistently. So I will say, though, Jordan Love rolling to his left has one of the prettiest balls. Like throwing crossbody, rolling to his opposite side. Those.
He has nice balls.
He does have nice balls. I'll carry him everywhere.
Well, yeah, he has very nice balls. Whenever he's rolling out to the left, you can see his balls. Yeah. And they just hang. They like. You're right.
Bears. He just nuts on the Bears, dude.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah. See, I can do it too. But end of the day, I mean, was I bummed out? Yeah. Was I pissed? Immensely. Did I punch some things? Of course. Just because that's what happens when the last play you see from your team for 9 months is the worst throw a quarterback can ever make. Yeah. But you know what? It is what it is. I didn't expect them to even make the playoffs. I didn't expect them to sniff the playoffs. There was at one point where me and you were talking about who the Packers are going to pick in the top 5. So for them to climb all the way back and make it as far as they did, I'm super proud. I'm super happy. I can't wait to see what it holds and what comes of it. It just sucks that that's how they had to. I almost would have rather them get their ass blown out.
Well, now they're going to go ahead and draft another pass rusher, which they don't need because they've got Lucas Van Ness, Kenny Clark. So get ready for that.
I hope they get that tackle out of BYU. So Matau, whatever the hell his name is.
Is he good?
Yeah, he's the only good offensive lineman BYU had, and he was amazing. That's who I want. But Rasheed Walker's played nice. Zach Thomas played great. Also, coincidentally,
he's a Penn State guy, isn't he?
Rasheed Walker?
Yeah. He's a Penn State guy. There you go. You got your Penn State guy. They just breed NFL players.
They do. The Packers need a center. That's what they really need. They need a really good. So they need CeeDee Lamb. No, they don't. They don't need CeeDee Lamb. I'd love Kenneth Murray. Kenneth Murray and Quay Walker as a linebacker duo would be pretty nasty. Although they both are Mikes.
That's one thing I'm excited about Jim Harbaugh is he's going to teach toughness into that team again, and Kenneth Murray's going to have a good year.
I feel like Kenneth Murray. You know where Kenneth Murray should be? Detroit.
In the Hall of Fame.
Yes, but Detroit. Imagine Kenneth Murray with Dan Campbell. Like, all right, go bite his kneecaps off. That'd be amazing.
Well, shit. Let's go ahead and get into that game.
Yeah.
That was a fantastic game.
It was.
That was tied going in like 10-10. Again, another 10-10 game, and then both teams just like going back and forth. Detroit was winning that game. It was 31-17. Like Jared Goff was unbelievable. Their defense was like they played better. Like in these playoffs, they have done better in the second half. Like their defense has, and like that was a glaring issue for them. Like their secondary still is kind of a glaring issue. Other than Brian Branch, that dude is incredible,
fantastic.
But like Jared Goff, the discussion needs to be made. He's got to be like in the elite category now because he's taken 2 teams to the NFC Championship, and one of them is the Lions.
Do you think it's elite or just very good?
I would. Here's the thing, like, here's kind of where I'm at with it. It's not fair that the Lions and the Packers can just get these badass quarterbacks. You know what I would do for a quarterback like Matthew Stafford or Jared Goff or Aaron Rodgers or fucking Jordan Love?
Things we can't even Guantanamo Bay.
We can't even fucking sniff the idea of getting a quarterback that can make some of the throws that those guys make.
What do they think of the Vikings? So
Kirk Cousins was going to have like an MVP year before he got hurt.
I wouldn't go that far.
He was playing awesome.
He was playing really well.
Like we make fun of Kirk Cousins a lot, but he was playing really fucking good this season before he got hurt.
The Packers don't make the playoffs if Kirk Cousins is healthy. I'll say that right now.
Yeah, and they probably don't win a playoff game if they get into the playoffs, but whatever. This was a better Vikings team than last year, in my opinion.
No, they were. I think they were a lot more solid. But anyways, we're not talking. We're not here to talk about the Vikings. What do you think on the 2-point conversion attempt?
I don't have a problem with it. Like I did pick the Bucks plus 7.5, so it is like the ultimate bad beat. It was like,
oh damn.
Yeah, the Packers I needed the over to hit and the field goal missed. That was a bad beat. And then because that overtime, all I needed was 3 points. Yeah. And then this game, I just needed either like the extra point or the 2-point conversion to hit. I'm not going to say that like I'm the best at math. I was pretty good at math in high school, but I understand like football math and like analytics math more than I do like school math. Like if you go for the 2-point conversion, you miss. If you could stop the Lions and you can go down and score another touchdown, you have another chance to get the 2-point conversion again and tie the game.
Yeah.
Like I don't hate it. I understood why he went for it.
I feel like it's such a momentum killer though when you don't get it. That's the one thing I don't like about it is they just built all that momentum. They went down. They scored a touchdown. Everyone's like, all right, we're back fucking in. This is it. Kick the field goal. Go let the defense stop them. Get the ball back. Then you go for the win. You know what I mean? I would prefer it for the win, but I do get the analytical sense of if you don't get it, okay, we still have another shot.
You probably have like a 60. You have a 60% chance on one of the 2-point conversions to like make it.
Yeah.
Like if they would have went down on the second touchdown drive, like they probably could have called something that would have scored them.
And it wasn't a bad ball. Baker put a good ball. Mike Evans just has to jump back into the corner.
Yeah, he's getting pushed too. It was like it wasn't pass interference. Like it was close.
It was perfect defense.
It was a good no call in my opinion. Like
I agree.
You can. I thought it was good defense personally, but like if you're somebody that's like real big on like not letting corners play football, then it was a bad no call.
Pussy.
Yeah, basically, if you're a pussy, then it was a bad no call. But again, like they had a chance. They stopped the Lions. They had a chance to score. It was just bad throw by Baker. Good play by the linebacker.
Yeah, and it wasn't even a terrible read. Well, it was a bad read, obviously, because the linebacker was there, but it was the right throw to make.
He was just
coverage they were playing. Yeah, it was. He should have bit that one and thrown it away or something. But, I mean, it was a fun game. All of the games outside of the Texans-Ravens were good and fun to watch and very enjoyable. It sucks that, for me especially, it sucks that the 2 teams I wanted to win, obviously being the Bucs because of Baker and then obviously the Packers, just had to be the 2 teams that fucking lost.
Yeah, it's hard to like I'm happy for the Lions. I really am. Like I'm happy for their fans. Like if they win it all, that'd be like an awesome story. But like my buddy Arnold came down to like watch the game. He came to Denton and we had like a group of people over at my house and we were watching it and he's diehard Lions fan. He became a fan after the team went 0-16. Like literally the year, like it was like elementary school. He was like, I'm going to be a fan of this team now because the only like direction.
Yeah.
He's like the only direction now is up, and like we were like on the same boat, you know. It was always fuck the Packers, you know. Let's go fucking cause debauchery together. We were like, you know, we were like the siblings, you know. We were in it together. Now he's like looking down on me, and he's like, "You're pathetic." Like now
he's on my boat now.
Yeah.
Like fuck the Bears and fuck the Vikings. He's on my boat now.
Yeah. So like now, I mean, he fuck everybody. Like that's he was saying that. I was like, so how do you feel like going up against like the Bucks? And like if you got to go through the Bucks who are hot, you're gonna have to go through the 49ers. Is he an OU fan too? Yeah.
Oh, so he's a Baker guy.
He didn't care. He was like, fuck all of them. Like this is our year. Like it's championship or nothing. So like he's on that path. But like it's weird cheering for like a divisional rival, you know. Like I don't want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl. I don't want the Packers to win a Super Bowl. Like
I want the Ravens to win the Super Bowl this year. So who I wanted if the Packers, obviously because they're not going to, the Bucks are my second team, and then it was the Texans, and then the Bills and the Ravens. And so now I'm just having to fucking cross teams off. Like at this point, it's the Ravens. What I don't want is Chiefs Niners. I will literally kill myself.
Yeah. I don't know. It's looking weird. But back on the Lions real quick. Is their front office like finally like functional?
Competent? I think so.
Because they hired Dan Campbell. That's a great hire. I thought it was an awesome hire. After his interview, I was like, this guy fucking gets it.
And it proves you don't have to be a play
people
caller.
Hated it. People like Colin Cowherd and those guys like hated it because of his press conference. But it's like, no, that was exactly what Lions fans needed to hear. They go and they get Penei Sewell.
Yeah.
That looks like a home run hit. It was like
He's
between
an
him
ass
and
kicker out there, bro.
It was between him and Rashawn Slater. It's like, all right, you got a guy high ceiling, not fully developed, or you can get Rashawn Slater who's fully developed and like he's gonna have success immediately. Penei Sewell's already a better tackle than Rashawn Slater.
Well, when in doubt, you pick the Samoan.
And he's fast too. Yeah, I know. Like his pin pull.
He looks great. Yeah, he looks great pulling.
That pull concept that he had, where he faked like he was gonna block Shaq Barrett and completely like avoids him to block the what is it, the second level for Jahmyr Gibbs on that run. And Jahmyr Gibbs, I loved the pick. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that on record. When they drafted him, I was like, that's a fantastic draft.
I was
Sam
against
Laporta.
I was against it, but I was against where they took him. But it goes to show, if it's your guy, take him. You know what I mean? If he's your guy, take him.
Jameson Williams. I'm surprised they didn't. Jared Goff doesn't like go for, or like he just can't get on the same page with him sometimes. I think Jameson Williams is just too fast. Like he's too fast for Jared.
I think so. Do you think is Jared the long-term solution there, at quarterback?
If he wins the Super Bowl, you gotta plan for. You gotta have him for at least 3 more years. Yeah, I know. Build a statue.
Yeah, 3 more years. Jared Goff. I mean, the Lions are here to stay, dude. Like, this is not a window team. Like, they're going to win and probably keep fucking winning. Now, it's the NFL and anything can happen, but it doesn't seem like they're in a really good spot right now. I'll just keep saying that. They're in a really good spot.
Yeah, they've got studs everywhere. And, like, they've drafted so well. They've drafted just as good as anybody in the NFL has. And they've proven that they can win games. They're not the Cinderella story that we thought they were. Like, they're actually a really good fucking team. Yeah. That, like, most people, like you and I said before the season started, like, yeah, this is a team that can make the playoffs.
Yeah. They proved me wrong. It's not just a team that can make the playoffs. They are a Super Bowl caliber team.
Yeah. They got a tough test against the 49ers, but I think they can win that game.
I think so too.
And I just don't know, like,
I hope they all lose.
I don't want the Lions to win, but like at the same time it'd be like a good story. Like I'd be happy for my friend.
It'd be a fun 30 for 30.
Yeah. I'd be happy for Arnold, but like fuck, now they have a Super Bowl under their belt.
More recently than both the Packers and the Vikings, or the Packers and the Bears.
Yeah.
Vikings don't even have one.
Yeah, I know. So they can't win a Super Bowl. I just can't happen.
At this point I'm hanging my hat on the Ravens.
So for the Bucks, Baker's going to get a fat contract.
Yep.
He already stated that he wants Mike Evans back. Mike Evans wants to come back and play with Baker after the season that they had. Mm-hmm. They're going to still have Chris Godwin. Trey Palmer, he's been good. Tompkins, he's been kind of good. Kate Otten, he needs to figure it out, but he's good. Like
maybe he just needs to wear fucking gloves. He keeps going out there to tape fingers and dropping the ball.
It looks cool, but maybe not like the best solution. Like you kind of might want to wear gloves so you don't.
Can they just?
Well, Mike Evans was dropping passes too. It was the perfect
Baker's
Mike
got
Evans.
That much of a cannon?
No, I think it was the perfect Mike Evans game where like now it's showing that he's old, so like the easy catches are just like he drops them, and then like the toughest catches that he has to make, he'll haul it in. It's like
that one.
Oh, that's why
sideline.
Yeah. It was like how he's getting old, like he can't play anymore, and then he makes a catch like that, and you remember why he's going to be a Hall of Famer, like first ballot.
Exactly.
And he's probably like statistically and accolades wise, like the most accomplished receiver in the NFL right now. I can't think of anybody else. Like
no, there's no one that has the current career stats that he does. I mean, there's guys that'll probably get there, but no one that's there right now.
Yeah, like
it's active.
It wouldn't be crazy for me to think like if the Bears were not to draft a receiver, but to like get a receiver in free agency or like to trade for a receiver, I wouldn't mind Mike Evans. I wouldn't at all. I'd be like, yeah, I'd fucking love that.
I mean, Mike Evans is a guy every team would be like, we'll make room.
Or Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin's a stud too.
Chris Godwin is a stud. David Moore played well.
Yeah.
Most of the season.
They'll be fine. They need to fix some things. They got cap issues.
Yeah.
But I think they'll be okay as long as Dave Canales stays for another year. Because I don't know if I don't know about Todd Bowles, man. Like, again, it just something that 4th and 1, you got to go for it. Like he just too conservative, shit for brains sometimes. Good defensive mind, kind of shit for brains as a head coach at times. But they weren't even supposed to win 4 games this season. Here they are in the divisional round with the guy that everybody thought was done. He was going to be a backup quarterback. Baker goes out there and has the season that he has. Like, I think they'll be fine. Really, I'd be shocked if they didn't pay him.
No, they will. There's no way the Bucs can let him walk.
Yeah.
They're especially now they're so late in the draft. They're going to go get like Bo Nix and then just let Bo Nix play as a rookie? No, like they could, but that's not the best solution for their team. They're still in a win now window. You know what I mean? Especially the rest of their division is really weak. They're going to be able to cakewalk their way through the division.
Yeah, it all depends on what the Falcons do. And again, I still think the Bucs are going to be a better team.
Yeah.
3 years in a row, they're in the playoffs and win the division.
And the Falcons are going to have a brand new coach too.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to still fight through some of that. I mean, though it might be Bill Belichick, there's still going to be some adaptation there. So
they still have talent. They have some old talent on their defense, but I think the Bucs will be fine. Honestly,
I think they definitely need to figure out their cap situation, and I think they need some more versatile offensive linemen. I mean, Wirfs is great, right, as a pass blocker, but I feel like they're too reliant on pass blocking. They need some guys that can do both.
Well, they'll get their center back. They'll get their center back. He tore his ACL in the preseason.
Yeah, that'll help.
That'll help. They need a right guard.
Yeah.
Probably a right tackle.
They need the right side of their offensive line, I think, needs to be like a downhill. That needs to be their strong side. And if they're going to run the ball, they need to run behind them.
Yeah.
So, but
I thought the quarterback play in this one was probably, in my opinion, the best.
It was the most consistent of all games. I mean, yeah, Baker had 2 picks, but the first one was a drop, and then the second one, it just happens.
Yeah, bad read. I mean, he's forcing the ball, but I would like my quarterback to at least try to make a play.
Yeah, I'd rather have my quarterback do that than go out there and throw 3 dropped in. Yeah, I'd rather have my quarterback throw 3 interceptions on good plays than my quarterback throw 3 dropped interceptions on bad plays. You know what I mean? Like, and that's Brock Purdy I'm bringing back in there. Like, I'd rather Baker in the way he played than Brock in the way he played.
Yeah.
Over the weekend. So.
Which is crazy because he had a game-winning drive, and yet it's still like, dude, that was not a good performance. But he's got a chance to make up for it. We'll see how it goes. But I still thought the quarterback play in this one was the best of the weekend, and that's considering like the game that happened at the end, the one that we're going to talk about after this, which we can go ahead and get into.
Yeah. So the last game and the one that was built up to be the game of all games because it's Bills Chiefs. Finally, the Bills getting one at home. Patrick Mahomes going in to Orchard Park.
How big of an orgasm did Tony Romo have before the game?
I think he was just pumping it, dude.
Yeah.
He
It's
was
tough.
more excited than Jason Kelce, and that's saying something.
Yeah, Jason Kelce was definitely the story behind this game. But we'll get into that in a second. The game itself that happened, Bills, like you said, at home, but Patrick Mahomes is inevitable.
Yeah.
27-24.
They finally got one at home and still couldn't do anything with it. It's crazy. This game felt like a basketball game. Like, so the way I say that is because basketball games, especially in college, are built so much off runs, right? Like the game started, it's kind of more defensive based, and then the middle of the game, second and third quarter, score, and then Chiefs scored literally at the start of the fourth quarter, and then it was just a defensive slugfest again.
Yeah.
It was literally everything you want in a football game.
It was a great game. I thought
it was so fun to watch. I just felt bad for the Bills.
Yeah, I know. You feel bad because like Josh Allen, like they do have some like moves that they're gonna have to make this offseason because they got some guys that are getting pretty expensive.
I don't think Stephon Diggs is back.
I don't know. They might bring him back. I think they need just another stud wide receiver because like even when it seems like they have the running game figured out, they just get too reliant on Josh Allen to be Josh Allen, which like he can do it. Like he's an elite quarterback. Like he's one of the best in the NFL. Like he could do what you need him to do, but like the Chiefs won this game because they were able to run the ball in the second half.
Yep.
And had it not been like McCole Hardman had that fumble in the end zone, you know, like that was almost a very bad. That was almost bad beat for the Chiefs if they would have lost that game.
Yeah.
But
the game looks very different if Cole Hardman does not fumble that ball, by the way.
Yeah, it's over at that point.
Yeah.
And Mahomes played good. And what do you know? Travis Kelce shows up in the playoffs. He's not so old after all.
Yeah, and you really feel for, getting back to Josh Allen, you really feel for him when it comes to the drops, dude. Like that ball, that was a perfect pass.
Yeah, it was a fantastic pass.
And he just couldn't come down with it. I don't know.
Not according to Rashad Slater, though.
Yeah, whatever.
Or not Slater, but who was the? It was a Giants wide receiver.
Slater.
Was it Slayton? Darius Slayton?
Darius Slayton. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, he said it wasn't a perfect pass, but
well, it hits you in the hand 70 yards downfield. I'd call that a pretty perfect pass right over the shoulder. So
he's just taking up for his wide receiver buddy, you know. Wide receivers got to stick together when shit hits the fan.
Yeah, sure. We'll say that. But I mean, it feels like there has to be massive change with the Bills because they've done the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah, there's just too much heartbreak.
Yeah. Like the Bills and the Packers, by the way, same franchise.
Not the same franchise.
The same franchise.
No. You can't compare everything to the Packers, buddy. You have a lot more hope than the Bills have right now.
Fair, but the same in terms of they finally feel like they're about to break the playoff curse. Whether it was the Niners or the Chiefs, and it's just more heartbreak. I guess you could say that like Dallas is similar because they just get their heart broken every year. So, okay, I guess.
I'd like to make the playoffs every year. You sound spoiled, in my opinion.
Well, then you just get a shitty draft pick for what?
To go back because you've got the quarterback and a functional organization.
Yeah. Okay. You're right. Back to the beefs, the beefs and chills. God damn it, Dalton. The Bills and Chiefs. But yeah, like I said, it feels like there has to be some sort of massive change. Not massive. I mean, it's not a whole rehaul. I think they still need to hold on to Sean McDermott, but they're getting old on the defensive side. And that's the thing I said at the beginning of the season. I felt like was going to kill the Bills. Is they're just the same team but older.
Yeah, Von Miller, he's lost a step.
Yeah, Micah Hyde's probably not coming back. Jordan Poyer. Just mail it in, dude. I'll go ahead and I'll marry Rachel Bush. You ain't got to worry about it.
Yeah.
But it would be fine.
We'll marry Rachel Bush.
We'll take care of her for you. We'll take care of her. But they're the same team they were last year, but a year older at literally every position.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You think
of
with
course,
like them being older, the more experience, but
you saw the injury issues hit them late though. That's
yeah,
part of
that's
it.
true. That's true.
And so they just need to get younger in some key spots. I think linebacker, they need to get younger. I think safety, because like I said, Jordan Poyer, he'll probably still be there. Michael Hyde's probably not coming back. They need some more depth at corner. Trey White went down and they were just done until they got Rasul.
You know what they need to do? Just move to the NFC, and then they don't have to face the quarterback gauntlet.
That's fair.
Yeah, just put them in the NFC.
Just
there you
swap the Bills with I don't know.
The 49ers.
No, swap the Bills and the Seahawks for conferences, and then just move the Bills from Buffalo to Oklahoma City. That would never happen. They would riot. The city of Buffalo.
You wouldn't get the same fans. You would just get a bunch of OU fans that suck at games.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
Well, maybe that's good. Maybe we get a bunch of Buffalo fans and we start plowing through tables. That'd be fun.
Maybe in the dead of fucking summer, 110 degrees, plowing through fucking tables,
fire tables,
burning hot concrete.
Yeah,
we just start melting. Hilarious.
I like.
Maybe they just bring the snow. Maybe.
Yeah,
the snow.
Bring the snow. It's probably just gonna be a bunch of asbestos because
yeah, exactly. But are the Chiefs gonna fucking do it and get back to the Super Bowl, man?
Are Patriots fans scared of what the Chiefs could be? Because you had Brady and Belichick for a long time, but it looks like Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes are on this dynasty run. It kind of seems
they overtake the Patriots.
I'm not saying they will. I got a few friends that are Patriots fans. Actually, oddly enough, I have 4 friends that are Patriots fans. I wonder what they're thinking. I don't know. I haven't asked them. I haven't talked
Bill and Brady back.
Yeah.
It's probably what they're thinking. Can we go back to 2015 when everything was happy?
Listen, Mahomes, he's just this is what the Chiefs do. They've got a championship team, championship coaching. The offense looked good. Is it because they played an injured Bills defense, or is it just because this is what they do? This is what we talked about. How are the Chiefs going to look in the playoffs? We thought hey, it doesn't matter if they get into the playoffs, they're going to make a run. And now they're in the AFC Championship game, and this is where the playoffs start for them.
Yeah, and everyone brought up, they're like, hey, Mahomes has never played on the road. He looked just fucking fine to me.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he's never played on the road in the playoffs, but he gets 8-9 attempts out of the season.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's new to him. You know what I mean?
Did you see what ESPN said about Highmark Stadium? They called it Mahomes' house.
It's fucking stupid.
Yeah. I didn't like that.
That is not the same as Burrowhead.
ESPN's just trying too hard.
Yeah, very, very too hard. But I don't know, man. It was a fun game, but it felt inevitable the whole time I was watching it.
Yeah, the miss.
Really, the whole time I was watching all 4 games. Halftime at Texans-Ravens, I was like, the Ravens got this. The Packers game, I had a bit more hope, but I was like, at the end of the day, the Niners are going to squeak this one out. I was watching the Bucs-Lions. They made that drive. They scored that touchdown. Before the 2-point conversion, I was like, Lions are still going to find a way to win this. And at halftime, I'm sitting there, and I'm like, okay, it's 17-13. The Bills are up. The Chiefs are going to find a way to win this. I fucking knew it, dude. I don't know if I'm just a fucking Debbie Downer.
It's the ultimate curse for Bills fans too to have a missed field goal to kick you out of the postseason.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Bills fans because it's just the same thing. Maybe they're cursed. I don't know.
It's literally their 4 straight Super Bowl losses, but instead of in the Super Bowl, it's in the random divisional round to the Chiefs.
Well, let me ask you this: is it worse for them to lose in the fashion that they did, or would it have been worse for them if they make the field goal and then Mahomes does a miracle run to score late to win the game? Because they did it on a kneel down because of the missed field goal.
It hurts more off the missed field goal because if you make the field goal, you don't know what happens. Yeah, the Mahomes and then probably go down and score, but who's to say they don't have that random drop and it gets tipped into someone's hands? There's more hope with them having to go score than watching them kneel it out.
I'll tell you this: they didn't have Kadarius Toney out there, so that's
They didn't, but you never know.
MVS.
Yeah.
He looked good.
Maybe they try a deep ball and then it just bounces out of MVS's hands like Aaron used to throw it to him. So
That was
that's
the
the thing.
perfect way. If you're a Chiefs fan, that was the perfect way to win the game. Like you on a missed field goal, you get to kneel it down. Like God forbid, they had like 3 guys get hurt on their defense, like key players too. So like, Bills make that field goal. God forbid something happens in Mahomes.
Chiefs are going to look very different next year as well. Chris Jones probably isn't coming back. They need to retool some pieces on their defense. And some people are saying this is Kelsey's last year. I don't think so. But
still, Blake Bell. We forget about Blake Bell.
I mean, I love Blake Bell and the Belldozer, but he's not the same as Travis Kelce.
That's true.
He's not the same. And they don't make them like Kelsey no more. I mean, you got a couple guys that are kind of that size and have that skill level, but
Sam Laporta.
More so, but now more so than ever, you see like the Mark Andrews, the Dalton Kincaid, the Ja'Tavion Sanders, like those kind of guys that are just like your just giant wide receivers. You know what I mean? So that's just where the game's transitioning, at least in college. So
I disagree with you on the Mark Andrews. I feel like he is a traditional tight end, but like Ja'Tavion Sanders and like Isaiah Likely and all those dudes are like basically giant wide receivers.
Mark Andrews is a traditional tight end in the fact that he was coached that way, but he was a wide receiver coming out of high school.
Yeah.
And he had to be coached to do that. You know what I mean?
True.
God, imagine him with Joe John Finley as his coach right now. That'd be amazing. But it was more fun to watch him and Baker play. But anyways, man, it was just, all in all, it was a super fun weekend, and it just sucks that we only have 3 football games left this year.
Yeah, I know. It's coming to an end. I don't know what I'm going to do.
UFL though.
Yeah. Well, we got basketball and baseball coming up.
And the Thunder are really good. And
we got the draft.
Baseball. The draft is going to be fun. I'm in the middle of school, but I'm going to spend some free time. Instead of watching football, I'll still be watching football, but I'll be grinding some tape, man. I'll grind tape like a porn star grinds that pole.
Are you going to be watching grinder tape?
Yeah. I might even maybe the Bang Bus or something, get on there, get some tape, get some all 22 of the casting couch, just really get my head in there, sink my teeth in.
Yeah.
I'll wrap up though, because I ain't trying to get no diseases. I don't know. What do you think though? I mean, overall, as a whole, these 4 games, what were your kind of overall thoughts?
My overall thoughts, I guess we'll talk about this on the next episode when we get into the conference championship preview. I thought the better teams won.
Yeah.
Maybe the Chiefs and Bills, in my opinion, were kind of similar in the fact that they both had the quarterback, but the Chiefs, their defense is just so fucking good. So like it felt like they were gonna win that game. But I'm happy with the matchups we have.
Yeah, I can't wait. This weekend's gonna be really fun. Man, it's gonna be. I think it's the 4 best teams we could have got. I lost $12 on Saturday.
Yeah, I put $200 on the Saturday games.
It's tough.
The overhit on the Ravens Texans because of the Ravens.
I'm about to say solely because of the Ravens.
Yeah, and then Andrews Carlson couldn't get it done. That's okay.
You bastard. But anyways, you got any other thoughts on divisional round weekend though?
I don't, man. I'm excited for the conference championship game.
I am too.
We got Hot Spot and Dead Zone coming up.
We do. Would you like to lead it off? Take it away. Okay. Yeah, whatever. All right. Who's your hot spot?
My hot spot is Mel Kiper's draft.
Okay.
So he finally came out with his 2024 mock draft. It's funny because there's no trades in this one.
Yeah.
Usually, I mean, I don't know. Like last year, I think he had a trade, but he's got the Bears with the number 1 taking Caleb Williams.
Mm-hmm.
He has the Commanders taking Jaden Daniels, and the Patriots take Drake May.
That'd be a hell of a scenario.
Yeah. He's got the Cardinals taking Marvin Harrison Jr., the Chargers taking Brock Bowers, the Giants taking Malik Neighbors. Ooh, that might actually be a good thing.
That'd be a fun one, yeah.
You had to replace Sterling Shepard.
Yeah.
The Titans would take Joe Alt. The Falcons would take Dallas Turner. And then the Bears on their on the number 9 pick would take Roma Dunze.
Did you just pick that as your hotspot because that's exactly what you want?
I've given my soul to Ryan Poles, whatever he decides to do. No, but you mentioned the BYU tackle. That's what he has the Packers taking at 25.
Yeah.
Yep. Kingsley Suamatai.
Yeah. Yeah. Kingsley Suamatai. Yeah. He's so good, dude. I'm gonna say
it's crazy that he didn't put Jaden Daniels as like the number 2 quarterback taken.
That's pretty crazy.
I think it's funny because he's probably going to come out with like his like next like mock draft prediction like he always does, and then the data is going to come in. He's going to be like, well, there's actually been some data ever since like the combine and the pro days. I think the Commanders they decided that they're probably going to go with Drake May instead or something.
Yeah, I still think
it's Mel Kiper.
Yeah, none of it ever makes sense. I think the best spot though, I think the Falcons have a really good spot to do some damage in the draft. What do they have? 10? 8? I think they have a really good opportunity to really bust some things, whether if it's like a move up or backing out, because I think they could really benefit. I think Michael Penix would be the perfect spot there.
You know what's crazy? JJ McCarthy. He has JJ McCarthy going to the Seahawks at number 16. There's no Michael Penix or Bo Nix on his first round mock draft.
That's clinically insane.
He has the Chiefs taking Troy Franklin. If that actually happens, good God.
If the Chiefs take Troy Franklin, I will devout my life.
Award them another Super Bowl.
I'll just devout my life to Jehovah. I'll just be a Jehovah Witness forever.
I'll devout my life to just hating the Chiefs if they take Troy. They can't keep getting away with this.
Oh, yeah? Okay. Jesse Pinkman?
Yeah, they can't fucking keep getting away with this. They're going to get Troy Franklin. They're going to win more Super Bowls.
What if the Packers just take, like, Michael Penix? Sit on him for a few years.
God.
No, knowing them, they'd take, like, I don't even know. They'd take, like, Davis Bevel or some stupid shit. Not even in the draft.
Yeah, I know. Davis Bevel. Me?
Yeah. I'm at Duke or wherever the fuck he's at. I don't know, where did he go?
I don't even remember where he went.
Oh, somewhere shitty. But who's your dead zone?
My dead zone is Zins.
Yeah. Okay.
So there is a ban against Zins right now, where Chuck Schumer, he said that they are a pouch full of problems. And if you know me, I've always got a Zin in my lip. I can't go without a Zin. Like I take one out and then 2 seconds later I'll put one in. But yeah, he said they're a pouch full of problems. To me, it just sounds like he's a nerd. He's not a Zinner.
He sounds like a pouch full of problems.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah.
So
it looks like maybe Big Tobacco. They got his hands on him. Paid him a lot of money. But listen, I'm a Zinner. Like I got to keep Zinning. Like if it does happen and like Zin it's not going to happen. At least I hope it doesn't. But like if Zin were to just go out of business because of this, like I'm stocking up, endless supply.
You gonna go on the black market to get it, or?
No, I'm just gonna buy like an endless supply, like enough to where like I'm broke for like 2 weeks, and then I'll be out of Zins in like a week.
Sounds so bad.
Yeah, they can't do this to us.
They can't. I won't let them. I got you, man.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm working on I'm taking business law this year, so I might as well, put it into practice. I got you, dog.
Wait until you get to the neglect section, because business law, like there's a whole section in like the middle of the semester that's like about like business neglect.
Yeah.
That one's kind of tough.
I'm sure. I can't. I'm so fucking excited.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's what you got for your hotspot and dead zone though?
Yeah.
Okay. For my hotspot, familiar name on here, but going with the Oklahoma City Thunder. This is the first time since 2018 the Thunder are the number 1 seed in the West, and the first time since 2014 they've been a number 1 seed this late into the season. Jalen Williams with a hell of a game-winning shot. I think they're fucking playing right now, if I'm being honest. Yeah, they're up 57-48 on the Spurs. God,
You know what's
even
crazy?
Spurs.
Like they're number 1 seed, and it is very fucking awesome, and it should be like a story right now because they don't have like an all-star player except for like
Mm-hmm.
Shea. Like SGA is like their all-star, like MVP level player. He was like a
Yep.
superstar, but like the day before, Joel Embiid dropped like 70 points, and it was
Yeah.
like the talk of like basketball Twitter where it was like, my
Well,
God.
I know, and at this point, it's between Embiid and Shea for MVP, like realistically. So, which obviously no bias at all. I'm giving it to Shea, but I
Yeah,
mean
no
they
bias.
not a single shred of bias there. But I mean they're such a good team together. They're such a good unit. It helps that they're young and they've all grown together. They're not selfish at all. They play really well together.
So like,
Also, Chet was named one of the finalists for the Olympic team, United
yeah,
States Olympic team. So now, how Jalen Williams isn't on that team, or at least one of the finalists, is bizarre to me. But I'll take at least one guy being on there. It's pretty awesome to see Chet. Obviously, SGA and Dort will probably represent Canada, Giddy, Australia, and so there won't be only
Giddy, the prison team.
a no. Okay,
Just kidding.
this isn't
I have his
fucking
jersey, so
yeah, exactly. Exactly. This isn't the longest yard or the youngest teen. But anyways, yeah. So the Thunder are my hotspot. They're 30-13 right now, um, and like I said, they're up 7 right now on the Spurs
Chet
just before
versus
halftime. So
Big.
yeah. But and speaking of Spurs, I mean that is who Joel Embiid dropped 70 on. By the way, did you see his stat line though?
Hmm?
He hit 1 3-pointer,
Yeah.
and then he had like what 24 field goals and then 21 free throws. It's
His
absolutely ridiculous.
he had like a ridiculous game. Like I got on Twitter. Excuse me. I got on Twitter and like I saw like it was all just like Joel Embiid like going on this like run, and you had to
Yeah.
watch like the second half. Like you had to watch like the third and fourth quarter because of like the run that he was going on. He ate he ate Wimby's lunch.
Yeah.
Is what he did.
He, dude, Joel Embiid's so good. And Giddy just had a beautiful lay in there. But for my dead zone, I'm actually going to switch it up on you. I was thinking about going with OU basketball just because they shit the bed, right? I forget who else my other one that I was thinking about. But I'm actually going to switch it up. I am the dead zone.
What'd you do?
So I don't know if you're aware what kind of weather y'all got down in Texas, but Sunday night into Monday morning, it was very like it was raining a lot, but it was below freezing. So all of that rain froze over, right? And so I get up about 5:30 in the morning, like I typically do before work,
You
to go
freak.
work out and go to the gym, right? I walk down my ice-covered stairs, holding the oh shit, Chet's hurt, holding the railing and kind of waddling my way down. Jalen waddling my way down. My girlfriend's walking through the grass to go to the car, right? I, like a dumbass, did not get on the grass. I walked on the sidewalk. And then I did that fucking cartoon fall where my feet keep going out in front of me. I fell backwards and landed fucking ass to pavement, bro. Both cheeks. I didn't get my hands down in time. I got my right hand down just right before I hit, but all of my weight right on my ass, bro, right on the pavement. And my back and my ass has been so sore for the last
Ooh.
few days. It's almost like I stayed the weekend at Epstein's Island. It's
Yeah,
just
it's tough
awful.
when your ass is sore.
Yeah, because then it looks like there's other things
Epstein's
going
Island.
on. You know what I
That's good.
mean? Then it looks like you got some extracurricular activities, but it wasn't anything bad. I was just trying to be a good human being and go to the gym, and
Well, like how
it came
bad?
back to bite me in the ass, literally.
Literally, yeah. How long did it stay like frozen?
It so when I left for work, my apartment complex was still like completely iced over. So I had to barely like get my way out. But then when I got to work, I parked. So the parking lot is kind of like slanted
Yeah.
right in front of the front doors. I parked there and I put my car in park and I looked down because I was waiting for our manager that day to get there. And I looked back up and the door was a little bit further away. And I was like, what the fuck? And I started paying attention. And I saw my car slowly sliding back.
Ooh.
And so I had to put it back in neutral and like tap the brake to let my car roll back and to get But about 11:00, 11:30, noon. It was completely fine. It was just real wet, but it wasn't icy anymore. So
we just had like the cold front that came in where it was like negative like 13 degrees with wind chill, but like it warmed up pretty quick. We've had some like light rain. I think tomorrow there's like a 90% chance of like showers, and
I know it's gonna rain
hate fucking
here
driving
on Friday, but
they're gonna drive to Louisville. Louisville's like an easy drive, like it's not long at all. Like it's actually quicker for me to get from Denton to Louisville than it was for me to get from Moore to like Northwest Expressway. Like the traffic isn't like that bad unless there's like a wreck. But like I-44, there's always just like dumb traffic, and there's not even a wreck. It's just like people just I don't know they just cause traffic, yeah. But like it's not a bad drive, but like driving in the rain just stinks because I got to replace my windshield wipers and I haven't done that, and I'm like too lazy to do that.
It's not my windshield wipers are fine, but there's a puncture in my the hose for my wiper fluid, and so I can't get it to go, but I can't find the puncture to fix it. So I have to take the insulator off my hood, and I got to find those pins somewhere so I can fix it and put them back on there. I just too lazy.
Well, it just sounds like too much work.
It's so much work, and I'm just lazy. But yeah, no, that was all I got. Do you have any other thoughts on this past weekend or anything interesting that you had going on?
No, my other dead zone was gonna be Uga because Uga passed away. Uga 10 passed away.
R.I.P. Uga.
Yeah, and then Barstool Longhorns, they made that post where it showed like Bevo attacking him, and then we couldn't get the job done. So yeah, OU men's basketball, come on.
Yeah, you got to be better than that, man. You got to know what's that song? Got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, and know when to walk away.
Yeah.
At that point, you got to know just when to make your fucking shots, man. That's all I gotta say. Just make your shots. They're open. They're there. But
I am excited for conference championship games. I can't wait to talk about that.
Very excited. I can't wait to go over that. I'm excited for that. But now that the Packers are out of it, I'm in the same boat you are. I'm already eyes on the draft. So yeah. I can't wait till the offseason. But with that being said, I think this is a pretty good spot to wrap it. This has been episode 13 of the PigSkin podcast.
31.
31. Shit, I said 13. Sorry, I'm thinking like Giddy. This has been episode 31 of the PigSkin podcast. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, and let us know. I mean, what were your favorite thoughts on the divisional weekend? Or I don't know if anyone that watches this lives in the same areas as us. Did you have any problems with any weather? Does your ass hurt like mine does too? And just let us know. But as always, let's just have a hell of a fucking week, and we'll see you guys here in a few days for our conference championship previews. So, see you.